Uwe Parpart. He's Chief Asia economist and strategist at Cantor, Fitzgerald in Hong Kong. Uwe, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Mark. Yeah.
I mean, it must be quite something to be where you are right now. I mean, Uwe, just try and put it in perspective, the economic impact, the fiscal impact, and we're already seeing what's happening in the financial markets.
Well, what's happening here today was really kind of back and forth between rumors about radioactive fallout in Tokyo, the Nikkei dropping precipitously. We looked at the Nikkei futures, which at one point were below 8,000. So this was quite a wild ride that we had here this morning, and it's important, I think, to step back from that and try to look at it from the standpoint of where this is going to lead us rather than the immediate rumor-driven and event-driven situation.
Okay, let's try and look at it then from that standpoint.
Right.
Where do you think this is going to lead us?
Well, I think we will see a decline in the growth trajectory in Japan for the next couple of quarters, but by the third quarter, well, by the next couple of quarters, I mean including the first one. But by the third and fourth quarter, I think we will see actually a V-shaped recovery that is going to be based on, of course, some government spending for reconstruction. But the reconstruction efforts after the Kobe earthquake produced a very rapid V-shaped recovery, and we expect the same thing to occur in Japan at this point in time.
On a monetary side, Uwe, we heard the Bank of Japan's announcements yesterday, pumping a record amount of money into the economy and, of course, boosting its potential to buy back assets. But some are saying it hasn't done enough. Does it have potential to do more?
Yes, I definitely think it has more potential than it has been doing so far. Right now, they've mainly been intervening in the money market and pumping a lot of liquidity in there, which is a stabilizing effort, but not something that really helps financial markets overall by very much. So I was quite disappointed that the asset purchase program was only increased by 5 trillion yen. They could have easily done double or triple that without breaking the bank. So I think the Bank of Japan has to pitch in much more decisively than they have done, and perhaps take a lesson from the United States central bank, which has done that. The other thing that's, of course, a concern is what does this do, the reconstruction aid, do to the actual fiscal situation of Japan?
And what's the answer to that? As we know, a debt to GDP is around 200% this year. I mean, our previous correspondent was saying the good thing is that bond yields are so low, so it does give Japan the capability to raise money. But is the fiscal situation, as Moody's said, is it worrying?
It is worrying. There's no question about it. During the 3 years following the Kobe earthquake, Japan spent about 60 billion US dollars. This particular situation here demands probably twice as much spending over the same period of time. So 40 billion a year added to Japan's already difficult debt situation is going to be very substantial. So they will have to do something. They will have to find a way of increasing their actual revenue. And what's under discussion there right now is between the government and the opposition. As a matter of fact, on the offer of the opposition party, the LDP, is an increase in taxes, specifically the consumption tax.
Uwe, thanks for joining us today. Uwe Parpart, Chief
welcome.
Asia economist and strategist at Cantor, Fitzgerald in Hong Kong.